Shalom, 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 Israel. First off, giving all honor and praises to the Most High and to His Son Yahushua. With the battle axes of the Most High, coming to you with another Sabbath class breakdown. The name of today's class is Stars Falling from Heaven, Nuclear World War III on the brink. So we seeing these things transpire in the earth. We get a more bit of understanding of what John the Revelator was speaking about and writing about in the book of Revelation. We're seeing as Israel attacked Iran, and Iran is, guess what? Shooting them back. You know, they countering those things. You know that Iron Dome is not 100% proof. We're seeing some of those ballistic missiles got in. We seeing these things, man, on the planet Earth, man. Guess what? It's bringing us up to a more sure word of prophecy in these last days, man. And that's for all brothers and sisters that are out there that don't believe the Bible. A lot of times, brothers and sisters don't believe the Bible because, for one, you ain't reading it properly. For two, you're not getting the understanding on how to understand it. Because it's right before our eyes, man. Let's go to the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1. Second Ezra chapter 9, let's start at verse 1. Second Ezra chapter 9. The book of Second Ezra chapter 9 and 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, read on. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. So we have seen part of the signs past. We've seen, guess what? The Babylonians. We done seen the Persian Medes. We done seen the Greeks. We done seen the Romans. Now we're in what? Babylon the Great. Read on up. Verse 2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And we're seeing these things. We're seeing the Most High God kind of gloriously visit the earth with pestilence, famines, and guess what? Destruction on the planet Earth. Read on up. Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquake and uproars of the people of the world. And guess what? We're seeing that. We're seeing insurrections from January the 6th, even now, with the protests that they had, protesting Donald Trump. We're seeing these things, guess what? Unfold in these last days. Read on up. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee. That's how we know that the Bible is a true book. Because the Most High God is literally telling us those things that he's going to do in the past. No man on planet Earth can do that. Nostradamus can't do that. Nobody. Witches, warlocks, they're not doing that like the Most High. Read on up. Even from the beginning. Even from the beginning. Read on up. Verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world, there's a beginning. Read on. And an end. And then what? And an end. Read on up. And the end is manifest. Hey, we're starting to see the beginnings of the end. This is no game, brothers and sisters. That's why we have to constantly do what? Check our spirits in these last days. Don't be distracted by what you're seeing on Facebook, what you're seeing on TikTok. Because guess what? Those things are put in there in place to do what? To deter your mind from this truth. We're seeing this an all-out war with Christians and guess what? Israelite camps. I know brothers and sisters got TikTok. That's all y'all see on y'all feed, man. Guess what? And brothers and sisters should not waver in this truth, man. Because guess what? That was also prophesied in the scriptures as well. Let's go to the book of Luke chapter 21 and verse 7. Luke chapter 21 and verse 7. Because what brother can tell me? Luke chapter 21 precepts with what? And what else? Mark what? Mark 13. Make sure y'all write those down. The book of Luke, chapter 21, precepts with Matthew's 24, and Mark chapter 13. They're all saying the same things, just given by different accounts from Luke, Mark, and Matthew. Who don't have it, raise your hand. Luke chapter 21, precepts with Matthew's chapter 24 and Mark chapter 13.
The whole chapter, not just a certain.
It's certain ones, but majority of the chapter. That's where you have to, I put it to brothers and sisters to read. Read that thing, and you will easily see what links up with what. Remember, the Gospels are saying the same thing. They're just what? Added more and some less, giving less accounts. But they're all saying the same thing. So many precepts in the book of Matthew, precepts up with the same book of, with the book of John, with the book of Mark, with the book of Luke. They all saying the same exact thing, giving more or less accounts. Do brothers and sisters understand that? Read Luke chapter 21, verse 7.
The book of St. Luke, chapter 21 and verse 7. And they asked him, saying, Master, when shall these things be?
Read on.
And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass?
So the disciples always ask Christ, when are these things going to happen and what shall be the signs? This is what Christ is breaking it down to. And this is what many of our people always ask about. When does the end manifest? We're like, brother, we in the end times, right? Can't you feel it? You can feel it in your spirit that guess what? Something big is about to go down, man. Brothers and sisters can deny it all they want to. You seeing nations versus nations is at an all-time high. All-time high. We seeing with Donald Trump in office, ain't no telling what he's about to do. We seeing these things unravel right before our eyes, man. This is the time that the disciples, the prophets, they wanted to live in this time, man. And many of them are back on the planet Earth. Read on up.
Verse 8. And he said, take heed that you be not deceived.
Don't be deceived, brothers and sisters. That's what we tell brothers and sisters, stay on a straight path. Stay on a good foundation. Because if you're not on a good foundation, you could be pulled not only just out of the congregation, but out of the truth. Don't be deceived. Stay on a straight and narrow path. Read on up.
And he said, take heed that you be not deceived. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ.
We have many brothers and sisters that are bugged out here, man. From the brother that be on the live feed that got about 20,000 pages. Brother Tyrone, this brother saying that he's the Christ. You got Yah Jew saying he's the Christ. There's some bugged out people out here that's supposed to be in the truth. Read on up.
Saying, I am Christ.
Saying what?
I am Christ.
Read on up.
And the time draweth near.
And the time draweth near. Read on up.
Go ye not, therefore, after them.
Read that last part again.
Go ye not, therefore, after them.
Christ is giving us straight commandments to do what? Go ye not after them. You got Philip Mitchell saying that guess what? Christ ain't black. So my brother is bugged out of his damn mind. No reading comprehension skills at all. When the scriptures is clear on the description of what Christ looked like. You ain't got Middle Eastern people with woolly textured hair. What is a Middle Eastern? They can never give us a straight answer on that. What is Middle Eastern? Well, he was olive. Well, olive come in 3 colors: green, black, and brown. Which one is it? I mean, this makes absolutely no sense. Read on up. You got something?
Yeah, because Middle Eastern was not named around the time of Christ.
That's right.
They only bring it up right now. And like you said, what is Middle Eastern? Also saying in this precept that around this time where brothers will start professing to be Christ, this is around the time of the end of that way in the end.
That's right.
Right? You ain't see brothers professing to be Christ some 10, 15, 20 years ago. Man. They doing this right now, and it's at a rampant rate right now. You got a lot of brothers coming up talking about, oh, I'm Christ, I'm not Christ, right? Bible gives you understanding of guess what? These are the times that we know. He gives us understanding of time to come.
That's right.
That we are in the last days, right? Go ahead, right?
Read on.
Verse 9.
But when you shall hear war and commotion, be not terrified.
Be not what?
Be not terrified.
Read on, huh?
For these things must first come to pass.
Read on.
But the end is not by and by.
Read that last part again, huh?
But the end is not by and by.
But the end is not yet, brothers and sisters. Just because we send Israel shooting nukes over there into Iran and we see Iran retaliate, don't mean that guess what, Christ is coming to save us tomorrow. We still have more prophecies that what has to be unlocked. We still have more seals that what have to be unlocked. Any brother, what seal are we in? The who? The fifth seal going into the what? Going into the sixth seal. So we getting close, brothers and sisters, man. We right there. Like we say, the doomsday clock that the Most High has in the book of 2 Ezra chapter 14 is right there. We literally in spiritual seconds. But guess what? It's not the end yet, meaning our salvation. We close, but it's not yet. Give me the book of Psalms.
Can we read verse 34?
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 34. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time.
Also, we see in verse 8 and 9, it tells you to take heed of yourself, right? Christ is telling you to take heed, brothers and sisters, of the times, right? Knowing the times, right?
And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unaware.
So it said with overcharge, right? That means weighed down, man. Oh man, all this is happening, right? You get too involved into what's going on, right? You see wars and rumors of wars, and you lose focus on what the main thing is, what keeping the commandment to the end, right? Enduring to the end. It said take heed of this thing, man, right? Read 35.
Verse 35. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth.
What is that snare that's upon us right now, the children of Israel? What is this snare? Religion, right? The laws are done away with, right? You don't have to keep the laws of the Most High God. These are snares that will come upon us at this time that will have you what? Losing your faith in the last time. That will have you what? Not being able to be aware of the time, understanding what is going on. Have your mind thinking other things instead of thinking law, statutes, and commandments, right? What can I do to please the Most High God instead of, oh, well, I'm going to please myself, right? So snares have been coming upon us, man. And that is a snare, like I said, religion, Christianity, right? Because Christianity teaches us that we don't have to keep any laws. That is a snare that has come upon us in these last days that will keep you from the kingdom, man. All right? Go ahead.
Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse. Start at verse number 5. Isaiah chapter 9 and verse number 5.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood.
Read on.
But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
Read that again from the top.
Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood.
So Isaiah is giving us an account on how wars and battles took place back in the ancient time. It was with war, confused noises, battle, and blood everywhere. And we see those things. When brothers look at those ancient movies, you're seeing it with 300. You're seeing it with the fights with Shaka. You're seeing it with many ancient battles. Read on up.
Salakia. In garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
This is the key point. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Isaiah is prophesying that guess what? It was going to be a new type of warfare in what? In these last days. Think about it. They had fire during that time, but no fire was compared to thermal nuclear fire. They had what you call in the ancient times Greek fire, which is basically like a grease fire, to where people would try to throw water on it and it would do what? Burn more and more. You have to put dirt on those things. So remember, Isaiah's talking about in that time, but he's prophesying much more when in these latter times. That's why a lot of times Christians don't understand it, because they say you're taking it out of context. Guess what? You have to be able to link this scripture up with what? With another scripture to get the full picture. He's showing us right now how we will have what? New tactics of war in these latter days. And that's what we're seeing right now. Ballistic missiles, what they compare with what? With arrows. Now, these arrows can be what? Shot over continents. Iran from Israel is approximately 1,500 miles. And guess what? Those things can hit accurately. People ain't seen that type of warfare in these last days like this, man. Damn sure not in the ancient times. Because you had arrows that could go what? Maybe a few hundred feet. No, these arrows right here could go a few hundred kilometers. Give me the book of Psalms, chapter 7 and verse number 12.
The book of Psalms, chapter 7 and verse 12. If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He has bent his bow and made it ready.
Hey, the Most High God has bent his bow and is making it ready. Read on up.
Verse 13. He had also prepared for him the instruments of death.
He had also prepared for him. Who is the him? Jump up to verse 11.
Verse 11. God judges the righteous, and God is angry with the wicked every day.
So we see who the wicked is, and we see who the Most High God is reserving those arrows for. A lot of times Christians literally think that it's talking about bow and arrows. No, remember, King David was a prophet also. So he's talking about in that time, but guess what? On a deeper level, he's talking about what? In this time. That's why you have what? The book of Job, chapter 11 and verse 6. The scriptures are what? Double to that which is. When brothers and sisters are reading the scriptures, y'all can never lose sight of the book of Job, chapter 11 and verse 6. A lot of times that's the problem with Christianity. They keep it in that time. No, these things are living in this time as well. Because we always ask him, where's America in here? Surely America has to be in here if Christ hadn't made his second coming. So it has to be prophesied here. And it is. It's called what? Babylon the Great. The land of confusion. What more place than confusion than here? Read on up.
Verse 13. He had also prepared for him the instruments of death.
Read on.
He ordained his arrows against the persecutors.
He ordained his arrows against the persecutors. Read on up.
Behold, he traveleth with iniquity, so like a travail with iniquity, and hath conceived mischief, and brought forth falsehood.
And brought forth falsehood. What nation of people is doing these things? Jump back up to verse 13.
He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordained his arrows against the prosecutors.
Against the persecutors. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28. Because it's always doing what? Giving us clues. What brother got the precept? You know what I want. (28) and verse, what'd you say out? His persecutors are swifter than the eagle. Jump up. Look, I gave it to you. Now y'all know now. Rules got to be in the spirit on that thing, man. Remember, precepts, precept words, you can precept verses. There's many ways you can go with that. Read this up.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies.
As swift as a what?
As the eagle flies.
So the Most High God always gives us clues. He's given us the keys to unlock the mystery on who he's talking about in these end times. We don't.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
And we didn't understand them because we spoke what? Hebrew, and they spoke what when they came? Latin. When the Romans came. We don't know.
Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
And we seeing that even to this day. We seeing that they don't give a damn about the older people, and they don't give a damn about the young. We're not just making that up. We have tons and tons of video. You have YouTube. Most like God is literally putting them out there for the world to see. And a lot of times our people still can't catch the hint. We don't know.
Verse 51. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed.
Until thou be what?
Until thou be destroyed.
We don't know.
Which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or increase of thy kind.
And we see that they do what? Eat up all the resources. That guess what? That we have as a nation of people. Go ahead up.
Come, the increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed them.
And we see that. So you want to make sure that y'all are linking these things up together. Let's go back to Psalms chapter 7 and verse 13 again.
Book of Psalms, chapter 7, verse 13. He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors. Behold, he travaileth with iniquity, and hath conceived mischief, and brought forth falsehood.
Because we seeing that even now. We seeing how Israel brought up falsehoods. I don't know if brothers and sisters remember, what narrative are they trying to spin that has been spun before? Say it again. Yes.
Nuclear development.
That's right. Can't y'all see that? They using the same tactics that they used in Iraq war to guess what? Bring them calls to come against Iran. It is the same tactic. How they saying that they having nuclear capabilities, then when they went into Iraq, they didn't find a damn thing. It's the same tactic over again. Because guess what? Esau can never have enough. They could never have enough. They're a nation full of blood, wrath, and they just want to take and destroy. It's the same tactic all over again. That's why the Most High God said that his ring is like a judgment. It goes around and it comes right back around again. The same spirits that are on the planet Earth, guess what, are back on the earth in these last days. Read on up.
Verse 15. He made a pit and digged it, and it's fallen into the ditch which he made.
Give me the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 19. Because the Most High God is giving us clues on who this person is, man. This is what I want.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4, and verse 19. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven.
Read that again.
Lamentations, chapter 4, and verse 19. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven.
Why did the Most High God use the eagle? He could have used any other nation to describe this persecutor, but why did he use the eagle? Because guess what? What is the symbol of Spain? What is the symbol of Greece? What is the symbol of Rome? All these major Edomite empire symbol is the eagle. America's symbol today is what? It's not a coincidence. And aren't they persecuting us as a nation of people today? Hell, they persecute the whole damn world. They persecute even their own damn people. Read that again from the top.
Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 19. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven.
Read on.
They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness.
Read on.
The breath of our nostril. The anointed of the Lord was taken in their pit, of whom we said, under his shadow, we shall live among the heathen.
And our people love to be amongst their shadow, man. Our people love those things, man. That's what we call today what? Assimilation. Our people love to be assimilation into American culture. When you go back and look at the history, you're trying to see that they're trying to undo and rewrite history like they have been known to do. Oh, we wasn't slaves. We came over here to seek job opportunities. What kind of history is that? Man, you could have left us back over there where we was, man. We had good jobs over there. Yeah, we ain't getting paid. We did get paid, man. And still ain't getting paid our rightful work over here. We see these things constantly, guess what? Being uncovered. That's why the Most High God is putting it on the spirits of the prophets to bring these things out. Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 9. You got some out? Go to the book of Revelation, chapter 9 and verse 12. So when you read the book of Revelations does what? It goes in and out of time. The book of Revelations is not in chronological order. Do brothers and sisters understand that? Read this out. 9 and 12.
The book of Revelation, chapter 9 and verse 12. One woe is past.
What does the word woe means in this context? In this context,
War.
war. But we know that guess what? War and war is destruction. It's saying one woe is past, meaning what? One world war is past. The first world war began in what? 1914. And it lasted 4 years. Read on up.
Come, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter.
And behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter. So we know that we had what? A World War I and a World War II. Now we know, guess what? We coming on the brink. Technically, we really are in it. But I'm gonna tell y'all, if brothers and sisters study history, you will understand that it is never just one major battle. You always have what? Proxy wars going around that lead up to a bigger battle. You have Russia, Ukraine, you have Israel, Iran, Israel, Pakistan, India. Remember, Pakistan and Iran are on the same side. Guess what? They on the same side as Russia. Those things gradually do what? Pull other nations and their allies into the mix. It's the same thing with World War I and World War II. Read on up.
Come,
Read that again from the top.
Revelation, chapter 9 and verse 12. One woe is past, and behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter.
Jump over to Romans chapter 11, Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. Coming right back.
Come, Revelation, chapter 11, verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quick.
Coming what?
Cometh quick.
So we see from chapter 9 to chapter 11, we see John the Revelator doing what? Going through the first World War and the second World War, in and out of time. Do brothers and sisters understand that? Who does not understand that? That's why these precepts, what? Must be upon precept. Christians just reading it, pages off of a book, not knowing that, guess what? That particular verse links up with this verse, and that's showing that particular timeline. When you read back over, that timeline links up with another particular verse and timeline. Let's go back to the book of Revelations, chapter 9. Start up at verse 1. Yeah.
The book of Revelation, chapter 9 and verse 1. And the 5th angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth. And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit.
What, brother? We went over this. What is the key to the bottomless pit? In the scriptures, what is a pit? A body of land. You brothers and sisters understand that? Let's prove that. Let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 5. We going here to show you that this pit is not some grave site like Christians think. They thinking it's an angel over in this one particular pit, just waiting to spring out of the earth and start killing people. No, it's talking about a nation of men. Second Ezra chapter 5 and verse 24.
The book of Second Ezra, chapter 5 and verse 24. And of all lands of the whole world, that had chosen thee one pit.
So we see that the Most High God calls lands what? Pits. Do brothers and sisters understand that? Am I going too fast? Raise your hand. I'll slow it down. The Most High God refers to lands as pits. Go back to the book of Revelation, chapter 9, verse 1.
Book of Revelation, chapter 9 and verse 1. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven into the earth. And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit.
The key to the bottomless pit is making reference to the Dark Ages, mainly going into Europe. Remember, the white man was in the Dark Ages at what time period? Do any brother know? Raise your hand. We kind of go over this too as well. Y'all need to know this. The so-called white man was in captivity or in the Dark Ages, we could say from approximately 193 AD to about the 1400s. That's approximately 1,000 years. Give or take. The Most High God locked him up, basically, meaning he put the spirit on them to, guess what? Not rule the planet Earth. In layman's terms. The time again, 193 AD to approximately 1400 AD. Wake up, brother, you're right. So we see when he came back up to rule the planet Earth, we see, guess what? Destruction starting to, guess what? Bring about to come back up in the earth again. Go back to the book of Revelation, chapter 9, in verse 2.
The book of Revelation, chapter 9, and verse 2. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit.
Why was the sun and the moon? What does the sun and the moon represent? Light. Why was it darkened when this particular nation rose out of the pit? Because they were spreading falsehoods. We're the people of God. We're the chosen people. Then they did what? Set things in order to make them as the people of the Most High. That's why ultimately you have the World War II spring about. To do what? So they could establish the vision of them being God's chosen people. Do brothers and sisters understand that? That's why you have the Balfour Declaration in what? 1948. World War II was ended about 1940. That's not a coincidence. 45, somewhere around there. Those things are not a coincidence. Read on up.
And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit.
Read on up.
And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power.
So we know many times in the scriptures, locusts and scorpions are referred to as what? Men, wicked men, heathens. That's right. Read on up.
Come. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads.
So the Most High God gave them what? Agreements. Guess what? Don't hurt the men that have the what? The seal of the Most High. Meaning what? Those that are keeping the law, statutes, and commandments for a period of time. That's why a lot of our people did get destroyed, because guess what? They didn't know nothing about the truth. They didn't know about these things. What should we be sealed with? Give me the book of Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 9 and verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh, and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Read that again from the top up. Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh, and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Read on up. And to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after them through the city and smite. And what? And smite. Meaning the ones that didn't have the mark. Another name for mark is what? Seal. Read on up. Smite, and let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children. Read on. And women. And what? And women. Read on up. Whom is the mark? And begin. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they begin at the ancient men, which were before the house. So we see even during the time of Ezekiel, we see these things doing what? Coming to pass again in these last days. Give me Isaiah chapter 8, verse 16, real quick. Precept for what? Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. Brothers should have these things. Ezekiel 9 and 4 precepts with Isaiah 8 and 16. The book of Isaiah, chapter 8 and verse 16. Bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples. Seal the what up? Seal the law among my disciples. Brothers and sisters should be sealed with the laws of the Most High. That is the only way to escape the dangers or the stars falling from heaven from World War III. The only way. Go ahead, Al.
So when I asked about the mark in Ezekiel chapter 9, do y'all understand what mark that is? What was that mark? Yeah, because in Ezekiel chapter 9, that mark will be what? Righteous, right, on the law. Right, so this mark that we're sealing with the Israelites will be the law, not sin, right? But let's go to another precept. Let's go to Revelation 7:3. Because Esau, man, they have a job, man. The heathen have a job to do, man. Right? The Most High God set them up, man. It's another precept y'all should have with Ezekiel 9 and 4 and Isaiah 8 and 16. Revelation 7:3.
Book of Revelation, verse 3. Saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea,
nor the trees, right? What are we going into? What is he telling them not to hurt? The men, right? Knowing that trees are referred to as men, right? Mark 8. Read on.
Saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees. So we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads.
Saying the same thing Revelation 9 and 4 said. It said neither hurt the grass, right? The grass is represented as what? According to what precept? Isaiah 46, 7, and 8, right? It'll show you that this is the same thing that the heathen have a job to do, man. It's going to mark sin upon the earth, right? This is why the Lord, all the time we say this, man. The wheat and the tares grow together, man. All right, you're gonna have to be able to be deciphered in the last days, man. Whether you'll be what found to be true for the Most High God, if you will waver out of this truth, man. So the heathen have a job to do. It said they need to hurt the trees, the grass. This is going into the men, right? The men that they can't touch are those that don't have the mark of the law, right? Go ahead now.
Let's go back to the book of Revelation, chapter 9 and verse 13. Nine and 13. The book of Revelation, chapter 9 and verse 13. And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar, which is before God. Which is before who? Which is before God. Read on up. Saying to the sixth angel, which had the trumpet, loose the four angels, which are bound in the great river Euphrates.
So remember, it's not a literal four angels. What are these angels meant to do? Hold back destruction. They're out there, meaning a set number of angels are out there to work on the minds of the powers that be. This is what this is going into. They're working on Putin's mind. They're working on, guess what? Trump's mind. They're working on Netanyahu's mind. They're working on the Ayatollah in Iran. They're working on Hamas. They're working on the president of Syria. They're working on all the minds of the powers that be to, guess what? To get them to press the button.
They working on the leader of Israel's mind too, because when they
like Netanyahu,
when they interviewed him, he said, "Man, I see them as a threat." Right? This thing been going on over there. But all of a sudden now he's like, "Yeah, we gotta find the threat and we gotta destroy the threat." That's what he's saying now, right? This has been going on, right? For a number of years, man. But now the angels are working up in his mind and say, "Hey, go on and bumble, man." Right? He said, "I deem him as a threat, right?" We'll go on and get to it. That's the angels working in them, man. They're going to get to it, push the button, man. Not a coincidence. Go ahead.
and we see that this is all about the power of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah, man. Jump over to the book of Revelation, chapter 6, in verse 1.
Book of Revelation, chapter 6, and verse 1. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder.
So who is the Lamb? Christ is the Lamb. We don't know.
Come. And I heard it as was the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see."
The four beasts represents what? Angels. The four beasts are angels. If brothers don't know that, write it down. Remember, these things getting broken down bit by bit. You take this understanding, this breakdown, and then guess what? You put it with other breakdowns. Would it be too much for a brother to go through the whole thing in one day? Remember, these things are broken down little by little. The beast represents angels. Let's prove it. For brothers and sisters, I know we have new brothers and sisters in the building. Jump over to Revelation chapter 4, verse 8. This is proven to you the four beasts are angels.
The book of Revelation, chapter 4, and verse 8. And the four beasts had each of them 6 wings about him, and they were full of eyes within. And they rest not day and night, saying, "Holy, holy, holy, Lord God Almighty, which was and is to come."
An angel with 6 wings is called what? A seraphim. A cherubim has what? 4 wings. Or 2 wings, like it. Seraphim has 6 wings. So these are angels. Go back to the book of Revelation.
You want to go 6 again, or we want 9?
Thanks, yeah, go back to 6. Thanks,
6 and verse 1.
Yeah.
The book of Revelation, chapter 6 and verse 1. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder, and one of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold, a white horse. He that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him. And he went forth conquering and to conquer.
And to conquer. We know this is going into what? The spirit of war, and also who? Yahweh Shah. We don't know.
And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see."
So we see that the Most High God has given authority to Christ to do what? Be able to unlock certain these seals at certain dispositions of time. Do brothers and sisters understand that? That's what the 7 seals is going into, the 6 trumps and the 6 vials. These things are all synonymous with each other. We don't know.
Come, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red.
There was what?
That was red.
We don't know.
And the power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth
Who is this spirit going into? Esau. Because of what? Read and to take peace. That is Esau's characteristics. Read on up.
Come, in that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
A great sword represents what? A killing instrument and power. And destructive power, war tactics. They're basically the god of war. That's why they constantly promote those things. Aries, Mercury, they see themselves as those gods because the Most High God gave it into the power of their hands. Let's jump back over to Revelation chapter 9, verse 14 again. So we seeing that that's the time that we're in now. We're seeing the number of nations that are causing the most destruction on the planet Earth. We don't know.
Come, Revelation chapter 9, 14. Verse 14, saying to the sixth angel, which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the four angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour, in a day, in a month, in a year, for to slay the third part of men.
The third part of men is going into the wicked. Because during the time of Genesis, you had classifications of men. You have the sons of God, the children of men, and the sons of who? The wicked. Do brothers and sisters understand that? And it's Esau's job to, guess what, slay majority of them. That's what this war is all about. That's what those stars falling from heaven is, guess what, setting us off to. And we're going to get some clips of those. Read on up.
Verse 16, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them.
Read that again up.
And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them.
That's going into what? 200 million that's going to be in that war in Armageddon. Read on up.
And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth, and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire, and smoke, and brimstone.
What is John the Revelator describing? Nuclear weapons. Pull it up. Warheads with lion teeth on them. Warheads with lion teeth. Because remember, during the time of World War I, World War II, what would they do? They would paint the bombs with different types of teeth on. Right. This is what John the Revelator is explaining to us in these days. We know a lot of times our people need visuals. Warheads with lion teeth. Go back. Missiles, warhead missiles. ES. You see these? These are literally real bombs. That's something that Esau loved to do during the time of World War I, World War II. We even seen that not too long ago, a few years ago, when they dropped the mother of all bombs that they called Moab. This is the visual that John the Revelator is giving to us. Let's go back. You can take it off, Bob. Let's go back to the book of Revelation, chapter 9 and verse 17 again.
The book of Revelation, chapter 9 and verse 17 from the top. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth, and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were the heads of lions.
That jacinth is going into different types of metals that the bomb is made out of. That's all that it's going into. Read on up.
And out of their mouths issued fire, and smoke, and brimstone.
That's why it's called what? A nuclear warhead. Read on up.
Verse 18. By these 3 was the third part of being killed. Read on. By the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone was issued out of their mouth. Read on. For their power is in their mouth and in their tail. What does it mean is their power is in their mouth and in their tails? The tail, that's right. The propulsion that's used to shoot it over continents. And we have been seeing those things. I don't know, brother. Tune into these things, man. Pull up missile shot cross continents.
On YouTube?
Yeah, you can. I don't know if they're close. ICBM. Let's put the acronym. ICBM. Yeah. Before we go up, son.
The mouse be tripping on.
Yeah, click off of that and scroll up, son. You good.
It's the mouse. It kind of.
Oh, okay. Scroll up some more. Yes, you can click on that.
Which one?
Go up some more, let me see. So even right there, we see the ones that USA have, we see the one that India have, and the ones that North Korea have. Now they're going into hypersonic missiles. That's why a lot of times the ones that has been getting in through Israel, they too fast to stop, even with the Iron Dome. And we've been seeing the effects of these things as well. We even have what Russia calls the Satan II, one of the most powerful bombs ever. These things get shot into outer space and drop like. Let me see if I can put it in. Click out of that, go back to the screen.
You stop sharing?
Yeah. I mean, it literally look like stars falling from heaven, but those are actually missiles. Make a wish at that. Hey. That looked like it was coming right at us. They done shot a lot of them down, but guess what? A few of them done got in through that. And you constantly hear the sirens constantly going off. You can take it back out. Go back to Revelation chapter 9 and verse 19. The book of Revelation chapter 9 and verse 19. For their power is in their mouth and in their tail. For their tails were like the
They muted. People on mute. All right, try it now.
Can y'all hear now? Testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2. Yeah. Yeah, we already know Brother James, Brother Judah. We'll keep that thing rocking. Come on. Read verse 1 again from the top.
Revelation chapter 7 and verse 1. And after these things, I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east.
It says, so that the destruction don't blow on the wind, nor the sea, nor any tree. Read on up, meaning man. Read on.
And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God.
What is the seal of the Most High?
Commandments.
The commandments, the laws. That's plain. Read on up.
And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea.
So we seeing that, guess what? That command starting to go out. That's why we have Russia and guess what? Iran. We seeing those commands. Brothers and sisters that lost track of Russia and Ukraine. Russia has a mighty military capability, man. They've been bombing the hell out of those people. But they not showcasing that. They ain't trying to showcase white on white crime or Edomite on Edomite crime. They want to make like they, guess what? The chosen people or can't do no wrong. Read on up.
Come. Verse 3. Saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees. So we have sealed the servants of our God in their forehead.
What should we be sealed with? The laws, statutes, commandments, and having faith in Christ. Read on up.
And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
So Christians will take this to think that it's only going to be what? 144,000 Israelites. How can that be when we has the stand of the sea? This is just going into the governing body of Yahushua. That's all that is going into. You're going to have what? Other 1/3 of other Israelite men, women, and children. Jump down to verse 9. We always have to cover this when we touch on Revelation chapter 7.
After this, I beheld, and lo, a great multitude.
A great what?
A great multitude, which no man could number, of all the nations, and kindreds, and people, and tongues, stood before the throne. And
Hold up. What is the multitude's precept? Who got it? Raise your hand. On a brother that has it. Who should have it? Raise your hand. Raise your hand, Brother Fred. What you got, twin?
I got 2nd Ezra 2 and 42.
Let's get there right quick. Showing you who that multitude is. I want to make sure that Bruce are writing these notes down, man.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 2, and verse 42. I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people, whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with song.
Jump up to verse 40.
Verse 40. Take thy number, O Zion.
Oh, who?
O Zion.
Read on up.
And show up those of thine that are clothed in white,
Meaning in righteousness, read on.
which have fulfilled the law of the Lord.
It's telling you plainly who that multitude is, man. People of Zion. So you don't have to guess at Revelation chapter 7, verse 9, that multitude is going into Israelites that are not of the 144,000. That is not hard to understand, man. Christians just don't like to go what? Precept upon precept. And they want to graft everybody into this, man. Everybody can't get in, man. They just can't. Let's go to the book of Revelation chapter 6, verse 12. Covering a lot in Revelations. You started 12.
Yes, 6 and 12.
Uh-huh.
Revelation chapter 6 and verse 12. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood.
So we see John the Revelator doing what? Describing destruction. When he opened the sixth seal, letting you know that we're in what seal? The fifth seal. Why? Because this hadn't happened yet. That's easy to understand. This has not happened yet. Read on up.
Come. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, which is shaking of a mighty wind.
Now, don't get me wrong. We see similar bombs looking like stars, and we know we have the visual on what John the Revelator was talking about. But these stars here are going to be 1,000 times powerful, 10,000 times powerful. This is going to be no joke. Read on, Rob.
Verse 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places.
What weapon has the capability to do that? Nukes. That's plain. Hold that precept. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 16.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals and the fire.
Read on.
And that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster.
The who?
The waster to destroy.
So we know in the ancient times, a blacksmith is the one that made weapons. We know in today's time, what is the blacksmith called in modern terms, Brother Renard?
Blacksmith.
Yes, what is a blacksmith called in modern terms today? Which is called a what? What could we attribute one of his names to? Who can help him out? What you got, Brother Bilal? A scientist. Think about who makes thermonuclear bombs. That's the same thing. They doing those things. They just doing it computerized. They doing it modernized. It takes craftsmanship to be able to enrich uranium. That's a long process, man. A long process. Go ahead.
Also, with your engineers.
That's right.
These modern day engineers, man, they make more money than
That's right.
anything because these are the what creators. These are the modern day smith and code, right? They the ones that's working everything, man. Working on these things, right? That's why they all have to sign forms and things saying that they can't tell or show anything about what they're doing, what they're doing, but they are really making this thing work for the Most High God. Let's go to Sirach right quick, 39 and 28. Because these are the spirits that are created for what? The ending of the world. They are here to lay vengeance on the world. Sirach 39 and 28. And when you look into it more, you see that it's actually talking about nuclear warfare. Go ahead.
The book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 28, break it down. There be spirits that are created for vengeance.
For what?
For vengeance, which in their fury lay on sword strokes.
In their fury, they lay on sword strokes. Man, read.
In the time of destruction.
In the time of destruction, though, right? See, the Most High has this thing on a strategic time, man, right? That's why you don't see war just bumping out like out of chaos right now, chaotic. That's why it's not getting chaotic right now, right? Like I brought up, you see Ukraine, right, and Russia, you have their beefs, right? Then you see it kind of die down a little bit. Then you see Israel and Iran get their beefs going, right? Now you know that eventually they're gonna have to come together because of a one word. This is how we know that the heathen are gonna kill the heathen. Egyptians versus Egyptians, right? What is it, Isaiah 40? Because allies, you are an ally to that country, you're gonna have to get involved. But the Lord said that these sword strokes lay on vengeance in the time of the destruction. It's a strategic time that the Lord does this. Read on.
Come, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force.
Read on.
And appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance.
Right? Well, so we see a few things that were created for vengeance. Read verse 30.
Teeth of wild beasts.
Teeth of what?
Teeth of wild beasts.
Read on.
And scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction.
What do you think verse 30 is going into? Nukes, right? Read it again.
Teeth of wild beasts.
I just showed you how they do their missiles, right? Put teeth on the front of them with the tails. Teeth of wild beasts, right? This is going into nukes as well, read.
Scorpion.
And because what is the attribute of a scorpion? Stings, it bites, right? This is going into nukes, read.
Serpent.
Serpent does the same thing, right? Read on.
And the sword.
And the who?
And the sword.
You know, Esau is made to be that sword, man. They the ones out here talking about, like I put in the chat, man, Satan 1 and Satan 2 missiles, right? Everybody's talking about how much nuclear warfare power they have right now, right? Kim Jong, and everybody is boasting with their pride about how they can destroy. Hey, they say I have a missile that'll blow up the whole state of Texas, right? This is what they're doing, man. But it's in the timing of the Lord's destruction. We wonder why they're talking about it. They're not talking about it and they don't got it. Believe that. Read.
Come. They shall rejoice in his commandment.
In the commandment. See, these things are going to come when the commandment of the Lord gives. Read.
Come. They shall rejoice in his commandment. And they shall be ready upon earth.
Just like right now. Iran and Iraq, right? I mean, Iran and Israel, right? They are ready, right? But it's when the Lord gives the call, right? And when the need is, right? Our people need to see these wars and rumors of war so we can have a timing of what's about to come, man, right? We read that from the beginning of times. Like I said, some of the sisters are not going to even adhere to this, man. Knowing that this is Bible prophecy, man. Right? Wars and rumors of wars. It needs to be seen amongst the people. Read on.
Come. And they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when the time is come,
Read on.
they shall not transgress his word.
And it's not going to go back. Right? We know that they talking about nuclear war and warfare. They're not going back on this thing, man. Right? It's going to eventually come to that day where we see what the moon turned to as blood, right? When you see nothing but scrolls in the air, smoke, where nuclear warfare has begun, man. And it's going to be too late then for a lot of brothers and sisters. Go ahead, man.
Jump up to verse 25. The thing was hidden where I could bring it out. Jump up to verse 25.
Verse 25. For the good are good things created from the beginning. So evil things for sinners.
So the Most High God made the things in the world for good. But a sinner will do what? Turn those things into evil. We don't know.
Verse 26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour, wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape.
Read on.
And oil and clothes.
Read on.
All these things are for good to the godly. So to the sinners, they are turned into evil.
That's why we have weapons today. Because Esau did what? Use that fire, use that water, and use that iron to do what? Make missiles, to turn it into evil. The same thing even during the time when you see with Cain's father. It's the same characteristics, man.
Brothers, what precept y'all got in your mind?
Rock 29:21.
Who changed the truth?
That's a great
God
precept.
to a lie. These things were created for good for us, man. That's right. Like I just brought out, that's heavy, man. The fire, the water, everything that the Most High God made was made for the good of us. But who changed that truth into a lie and now made it evil, man? Right? Who used the water in the fire and now made a damn nuclear bomb, man, that could blow up a whole damn state, man? Come on, man. Y'all gotta see that, man. Who changed the truth of God into a lie, man? Right. And now they serve the creature more than creators, man. The creator didn't tell them to go make this, man. Well, actually put it on them. But guess what? They are the ones that are incorporated with this. Jake ain't out there, man, trying to make nukes. And Jake ain't even out there trying to make no damn pipe bomb. A bomb, period. We don't deal with that, right? Bomb, nah. Bruce
Brother want to pop firecrackers.
For real.
To the jack back.
That's right.
Let's go to Genesis chapter 5 or chapter 4. Show you that. Guess what? This spirit was on the planet Earth from the beginning. Genesis chapter 4. Genesis chapter 4 and verse 22.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 22. In Zillah, she also bare Tubal-Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron.
What do you think Tubal-Cain was making with brass and iron? Weapons. Read on,
Con, and the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. Verse 23. And Lamech said unto his wife, Adam and Zillah, hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech. Hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt.
For he had done what?
For I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt.
What do you think Lamech got to be able to kill some? He got that from his damn grandson, Tubal-Cain. He have slain a man to his hurt. Do brothers understand that? Do sisters understand that? Read it again from the top.
Verse 23. And Lamech said unto his wives, Adaiah and Zillah, hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech. Hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wound.
For he have slain a man to his hurt by using those what? Weapons of brass and iron that was made by Tubal-Cain. Read on,
And a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold.
So he knew that. They understood how it was passed down. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, then guess what? I'm gonna be judged even harsher than him. They knew that because guess what? That's out of that same spirit. Going down from Cain, going down from Tubal-Cain, going down from Lamech. This is going into Cain's lineage. Because I know it was two Lamechs, one righteous and what? One wicked. This is what this is going into. They used these things for evil. How do they know how to use these things? Go to Revelation chapter 13. We always say that. What goes through Esau's mind to want to look at it now? Ask me that. We talk about that all the time. Why would they? Like, how would they just think about where to start to create a thermonuclear bomb? Like, who thinks of something like that, man? Like, who will want to use a weapon like that to just kill like that, man? That's crazy, man. That's on a whole nother level. Our people, man, we ain't nowhere near compared to Esau, man. We're trying to take over blocks. No, they're trying to blow up whole states. Revelation chapter 13 and verse. You know what I want to? Yeah, read that out.
This is book of Revelation chapter 13 and verse 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all countries and tongues and nations.
And who?
And nations.
And nations. Who gave them that power, twin?
Satan.
Satan. But I know where you was going with that, but you want to make sure that we sound on that.
Verse 4.
Jump up to verse 4. Come in the spirit.
Verse 4. And they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast.
Who is the dragon in this context? Any brother, raise your hand. Brother Dawood, who is the dragon in this context? Read verse 4 again.
And they worship the dragon.
And they worship the dragon. Who does Esau worship? So who is the dragon in this context? Satan. And they worship the dragon, read on.
And they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast.
Which gave power unto the beast. Who is the beast? Esau. Overall, the beast. Remember, the beast, it has what? 7 heads, 10 horns. Remember, it's saying the same thing over and over again, just using different words. In the same context. Because remember, in chapter 12, it called the beast what, Brother Yakar? Look over in chapter 12, verse 3. A dragon. But then when you get over to what? Chapter 13, verse 4, it calls him a what? A beast. And it reserved the dragon title for Satan. So y'all have to understand the context of these words being used. You understand that out? Read verse 4 again. Revelation chapter 13, verse 4.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 4 from the top. And they worship the dragon.
And they worship the dragon, meaning Satan. Read on.
Which gave power unto the beast.
Which gave them power. They didn't get that power for themselves. They didn't have the understanding to unlock how to split atoms until guess what? Satan worked on their mind. Read on up.
And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him.
Because we see that. I don't know if brothers and sisters are looking into it. A child predator ring, 200 kids found. Why wasn't that posted on the news? Like, what do you think that those kids are coming up for? Because just like how we gave sacrifices on the righteous side, they give sacrifices on what? On the wicked side. In order to, guess what? Keep retaining power from Satan. That's how they keep those things going. Read on, huh?
Verse 5. And there was given to him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
Jump down to verse 7 again.
Verse 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints.
To make war with the saints, meaning God's chosen people. And we, guess what? We in that time. We ain't at the height of it. Because guess what? They know that they are our enemy. It's our people that don't know these things, man. Read on up.
And to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
Now, who tell me what nation of people is ruling over all tongues, nations, and people, man? Come on, man. Christianity have dumbed our people down for far too long, man. Too long, man. Let's go to the book of, let's go back to Revelation chapter 6. Chapter 6 and verse 13.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 6 and verse 13. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casting her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind.
So we seeing that, guess what? We seeing these smaller stars, but guess what? We're going to start to see what? Bigger stars fall in these last days. As she was shaking of a mighty wind. Hold that precept. Go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 1.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, and verse 1. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me, a destroying wind.
So we see that the Most High God was going to raise up unto Babylon a destroying wind. I got a question. At this time, at this current time when Jeremiah is teaching, who was the destroying wind, Brother Fred?
Babylonian.
It's talking about the Babylonians. Who was the destroying wind? I can't. Who knows the answer? Raise your hand. Let me see what sister got. What you got, sis? The Persian and Medes. Remember, it's talking about the cultural context, but then it say what? A deeper meaning. That's why I keep telling y'all.
I was say that. But I was going along with what you said.
Don't go along with what I'm saying.
I said Babylon, I was gonna say Persian.
You should have said Persian and Mede first. Because the thing is, you have an immediate context and a deeper context. Go ahead.
Because that was kind of a trick question for y'all, because what captivity was Jeremiah in?
Babylonian.
Babylonian. So that'll be your first mind to say, oh, Babylonian. But it said the destroying wind of Babylon.
Against her.
So you easily understand and know I need to go to the next captivity. That's why we always make you say that captivity is in order, man, right? It's simple. Well, make it simple. So we gotta make it simple.
Remember, all it's doing is just reoccurring history. The Most High God using intermediate context to define, guess what, deeper context. And he's using America because what? They have the same attributes that Babylonians do. The characteristics of what? To bring all nations among them. That characteristics to do what? Set confusion out in the earth.
Mama Twin, do you know the captivity is in order? So one of the brothers, I need y'all to give Mama Twin the captivity is in order. Matter of fact, Twin, well, nah, say it, brother. Put the cord down. Put the cord, say it, brother. Tell her.
Egyptian, the Egyptian captivity, Assyrian, Babylonian, Persian and Medes, Greek, Roman, and then right now American.
All praise. Get that brother a hand, man.
Egyptian, Assyrian, Babylonian, Persian, Mede, Greek, Roman, and American. These are your major captivities of the children of Israel. It will help you greatly in learning what history of the Israelites, right? It will give you great understanding. Those captivities alone will help you in learning the Bible more and more. Because Jeremiah was in the Babylonian captivity. The next captivity to come out of the Babylonian captivity will be what? Persian and Mede. So that was the destroying wind. Yes, go ahead now.
Read Jeremiah 51 and verse 1 again.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 1. Thus said the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that raise up against me. So like that rise up against.
So we see that, guess what? The Most High God is stirring the spirits of the powers that be to do what? Raise up and destroy and win. We've seen some of the first effects during this week and doing last week. They shot many missiles, and those things ain't cheap. Missiles like $50,000 a pop. Things ain't no joke. And we know that the powers that be, guess what? They want war. They don't give a damn. You got the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergs, the major elite families that makes money and profit on both sides. Rothschild going into what? Red son or red child. It's not a coincidence, man. You look up these words. Read on, Rock.
Come. Verse 2. And will send unto Babylon banners that shall fan her.
That shall do what?
That shall fan her.
What do? You fan in the fires to do what? Stoke more flames. Read on, Rock.
Come. It shall empty her land. For the day of trouble, they shall be against her round about.
Because guess what? We see Donald Trump. You know he rash. He crazy, man. Talking about 2 weeks to get into the war. You already made your decision. Most likely I've made a decision for them. They getting into the war whether they want to or not, man. This is why the Most High God is going to pull them further and further apart, because you got the Magna crazies that don't want to get into the war, because he out here yelling what, America first. Guess what? The Most High God said no. America is going to be pulled into World War III, man, whether you like it or not. Read on out.
Verse 3. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in the brigandine.
The brigandine is going into armor that soldiers wear. Read on out.
And spare ye not her young man, destroy ye utterly all her hosts.
So guess what? The Most High God eventually is going to have that spread to America and to the superpowers. Because now we're seeing where China is, guess what? Getting pulled into these things slowly but surely. We seeing where, guess what? They don't kind of drew a line in the sand, saying that, guess what? If y'all don't stop nuking them, eventually, guess what? We gonna get pulled into this thing. We know that China is giving them what? Reserve missiles. We know that Russia is giving Iran reserve missiles, and we know that Israel is being supplied by America. So eventually, it's gonna call all the powers that be to be pulled into this thing, man. And on, maybe on, man. Read on, huh?
And spare ye not her young man, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. Verse 4.
Jump down to verse 13.
Verse 13. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasure.
Abundant in what?
Abundant in treasure.
Because America is the richest, most powerful nation on the planet Earth. Read on up.
Thine end is come.
It says that dwellest upon many waters. Because even right now, we have America moving their battleships into the Strait of Hamas, over there where the Persian Gulf is, what borders Iran. They have battleships over there. They ready. Read on out.
O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasure.
Read on.
Thy end is come.
Read on.
And the measure of thy covenants.
And the measure of thy covenants. Because they covered everything, man. How in the hell are you going to be mad at these people trying to get a thermonuclear war? Y'all got 400 of them. That makes absolutely no sense, man. That makes no sense, man. And the only reason why they're doing it, why you ain't talking that trash to China? Why you ain't talking that trash to North Korea? Why you not doing those things? Because they know that they have the capability to destroy them. But the thing is, they don't know how the Most High God is working, man. Moving their allies closer and closer to them, just like now. They didn't think that that Iron Dome wasn't going to be able to, was going to shoot down all the missiles. But now you see, the big craters in those grounds, the buildings that's been knocked down, the Most High God ain't playing no games. Read verse 14 again.
The Lord of hosts had sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men, as with caterpillars.
Meaning he's going to send insurgents to do what? Eat it from the inside. Talking about America. Read on up.
And they shall lift up a shout against thee.
That's that Allah Akbar. Jump over to verse 25.
Verse 25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain.
That's destroying mountain is making reference to America, because they destroy everything and they're at the top of the mountain. Read on.
O destroying mountain, said the Lord, which destroys all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee.
Read on.
And roll thee down from the rocks. It will make thee a burnt mountain.
He's going to make this place a what?
A burnt mountain.
Read on up.
And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner.
Meaning this place won't be established ever again. You take a stone to do what? Set the foundation to build it back up. This place is not going to be like that once the Most High God put it on the other nations to shoot stars at this place. Read on.
Nor stone for foundation, but thou shalt be desolate forever, saith the Lord.
What key word in this verse lets you know that this is not talking about modern day Babylon? Forever. Because what? Modern day Babylon is Iran and Iraq. It's people that still live in that place today. That's why you know that this is not talking about ancient Babylon. This is talking about Babylon the Great, which is America. Do brothers and sisters understand that? There's always clues to, guess what? Let you know what the context is talking about. Go back to the book of Revelation, chapter 6 and verse 13.
The book of Revelation, chapter 6 and verse 13. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely fig, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. Read on. And the heaven departed as a scroll. Pull that up for us, twin. The heavens departed as a scroll. After effects, a mushroom cloud of a nuke. Remember, mushroom cloud, scroll departing, roll together. These are all synonymous with the same thing. Mushroom cloud, nuke. Yeah. So we see that. Sure. Hey, this is what John the Revelator was writing about in these times, man. And people say that the Bible ain't a real book. People have to wake the hell up, man. Our people gotta wake up, man. Our people have to wake up. Saying the same thing that we read in the scripture. John the Revelator was approximately, 90? He died at about 96 AD, if I'm not mistaken. Same thing. You go out of there. This is one I love to play too. Pull up J. Robert Oppenheimer. I've got you. J. Robert. Yeah. Put on it. I am dead. Put on there. Put on the title, I am dead.
They got.
Yeah, it's there right there. I have become dead. Click on that. Look how sad he's looking. You know, like that one dude on what is that, Minister Society?
Oh, yeah.
You know you done messed up. You know it too.
He knew the world would not be the same.
Fair use.
Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita.
Man, we can barely hear it.
Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that
He is.
he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form.
He says some of them laugh,
and says,
some of them
"I
cry.
am become death,
And he
the
know that.
destroyer of worlds."
He literally said, I am become death,
I suppose
the
all of us have
destroyer
one
of
way or another.
worlds. He knew that too. You could see the look on his face. Satan just used him as a puppet. This is the man that created the thermonuclear weapon. Yeah. Like he say, we knew the world would not be the same. A few people laughed, a few people cried. Most people were silent. I remember the line from the Hindu scripture. The Bhagavad Gita, Vishnu, which is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty and to impress him, takes on multi-armed form and says, now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. I suppose we all thought that one way or another. And a lot of times they knew this in the scriptures. They knew these things, man. The Most High God put these things in here for a reason. You come up out of that. Let's go to the book of Revelation. My favorite one. Destroys them that destroy the earth. Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 18.
He knew he had messed up. Scroll down on the comments, Tony. Revelation chapter 11 and verse 18. Here we'll go back.
The book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come. The time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophet. The who? The prophet. Read on up. And to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
Read that last part again.
And shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
And the Most High God is going to destroy them which destroys the earth, man. Let's go over to Revelation chapter 6.
Uh,
14 again.
The book of Revelation, chapter 6 and verse 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their place. Read on up. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every freeman, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountain.
Hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks. Brother Yakar, what is this going into? Bunkers. Bunkers. Doomsday bunkers. Make sure Bruce right there next to it. Read on up.
Come. Verse 16. And said to the mountain and rocks, fall on them.
Do what?
Fall on them.
Read on up.
And hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne.
And hide us from the him that whose face sit, or read it again.
Come.
Like y'all butchered that all the way.
And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on them. And hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne.
Read on up.
And from the wrath of the Lamb.
This is another precept that y'all can show that what? Two entities.
That's right.
Christ and the Most High. One that sits on the throne, and guess what? From the wrath of the Lamb. The Most High God is not called the Lamb. Another precept that y'all can add to y'all arsenal, showing you that guess what? There are two entities. Read on up.
Verse 17. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?
Who is going to be able to stand in that day, man? Think about it. You see the Israelis, y'all supposed to be God's chosen people. How in the hell is that stuff going on in y'all God's chosen people? We have the ignorant Christian, the brother that be on YouTube, kind of effeminate brother with the blonde dreads. Well, y'all keep saying that that's specifically why they the people like, brother, you don't understand the scripture. It says when the real people get in the land, it won't be any war. So even in that case, okay, we give it to you, which we know ain't true. So you mean to tell me the Most High God gonna let 20 of his people die if they righteous? 24 or how many? You know the numbers is way above that. You know it is. They just gonna put it out there to make it seem like they winning or whatnot. You know, to control the media. Even if that is the case, you mean the Most High, y'all back in the land, the Most High ain't gonna fight for y'all? Come on, man. It's not making sense. Give me 2 Ezra, chapter 15, verse 39. Not adding up.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 15, and verse 39. And strong wind shall arise from the east, and shall open them, and the cloud which he raised up in wrath, and the star stirred to cause fear toward the east and west wind, shall be destroyed.
Shall be what?
Shall be destroyed.
So now we know where who John the Revelator was pulling this from. He was pulling this from who? Ezra. Remember, the Bible is just reiterating itself. It's saying the same thing over and over and over again. Give me the book of Revelation, chapter 8, verse 10. Hold that precept.
The book of Revelation, chapter 8, and verse 10. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the river, and upon the fountains of water.
Read on.
And the name of the star is called wormwood.
It's called what?
Wormwood.
Read on.
And the third part of the waters became wormwood. And many men died of the waters because they were made bitter.
Now, what can make water bitter? Nuclear waste. We see that, man. Those things undrinkable, man. You can't even get so many miles within a nuke going off. Saying the same thing, man. Let's go back to the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 15, verse 40.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 15, and verse 40. The great and mighty cloud shall be lifted up full of wrath. In the storm.
And the who?
In the storm.
Read on.
That they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein.
And them that dwell therein. Read on.
And they shall pour out every high and eminent place.
Read that part again.
So, and they shall pour out over every high and eminent place an horrible storm.
Hey, what?
An horrible storm.
That's what we were seeing somewhat of during these past 2 weeks. Let's get some more clips of that. Give me Iranian missiles hit Israel. Yeah, hit Israel. Yeah, right there. Yeah, when it comes back up.
Which I can still share it with you.
Yeah, you click on that one. Let's see what it look like since it's short.
This one right here.
Yeah. Share. That's every high eminent place. That's a city. One of the major cities in Israel. All of them like that. That's why he said, I'm not working into it. Go about it. God. Come on. A lot of times they think seeing a lot of things.
يا الله القزاز راه يضربون
Yeah, whatever.
على الله روح يا الله عفو الله وين رجع ولا نزلنا جايين عندي يا الله يا الله
Let's go back to 2 Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 40.
2 Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 40. The great and mighty cloud shall be lifted up full of wrath, and the star, that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein. And they shall pour out over every high place, so like every high and eminent place, an horrible star. Read on. Fire and hail, and flying sword, and many waters. Read on. That all fields may be full.
That all fields, meaning what? The world may be filled. Read on up.
And all rivers with the abundance of great waters.
That fire, hail, flying swords, all those are going into what? Missiles. Remember, you have John the Revelator calling them a star. You have Ezra's calling them what? Flying swords. And you also known to be called what? Arrows. All those are synonymous with what? ICBMs today. Read on out.
Verse 42. And they shall break down the cities and walls, mountains and hills, trees of wood,
Read on.
and grass on the meadows, and in their corn.
Read on.
And they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon.
Unto who?
Unto Babylon.
Read on out.
And make her afraid.
And make her afraid, man. Because it's gonna come a time where these things will be shot over here. Brothers and sisters have to pray that, guess what? Keeping the commandments, having faith in the Most High to be saved from those things, man. That is the only way to survive, man. The only way, man. No, Bruce brought this out in class this week. Give me Psalm chapter 91. My Mariah quoted it verbatim at the funeral.
Book of Psalms, chapter 91 and verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
Meaning dwelling in the Bible. That is the secret place of the Most High. Because what? The Most High God is giving us secrets and revealing unto us mysteries. Because the other nations, the people, they don't know what's going on. But Israelites, we sitting back like, all praise it, man. Raise it, raise it. Read on, Rob.
Come, I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress.
Read on.
My God, in Him will I trust.
A lot of people trust in Trump. No, we don't trust in the Most High. A lot of people trusting in these wicked churches. No, we don't trust in the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, man. Read on, Rob.
Come, surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noise of pestilence.
And from the noisome pestilence. What is this called? New. Read on, Rob.
Come, He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust.
What is this going into? The chariots of the Most High. That's how we'll be saved. Read on, Rob.
Come, His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
Meaning the law. Read on, Rob.
Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flies by day.
So we see what King David prophesied about these things, man. This is thousands of years before Christ walked on the scene. 500 and some years before Ezekiel and Jeremiah walked on the scene. Read on up.
Nor for the pestilence that walketh in dark,
Read on.
nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday.
Giving us a clue. Read on up.
1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee.
Read on up.
Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked.
Read on.
Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation.
That's why we'll be saved, because we're making the Most High our habitation, man. A lot of times, brothers and sisters are making money their habitation, their lust their habitation, their job their habitation, family, mama, daddy, pawpaw, aunties, uncles, their children. No, we got to make the Most High our foundation, man, and our refuge in these last days. Not wavering, not folding, because we see a lot of those things, man. Like I say, TikTok, Facebook, guess what, though? Believe it or not, those things are pulling brothers and sisters out of the truth, man. Those things are pulling brothers and sisters out of the truth because they're constantly bombarded with those things and not being on a good foundation. When you shaking a little bit, guess what? You carried away with strange doctrines. Brothers can't be like that in this truth, man. We can't. Go to the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, verse 11. We cannot be shaken in these last days, brothers and sisters.
Book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, in verse 11.
Yeah, go ahead, Al.
The book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise.
That's that boom. Read on.
and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up.
Shall be what up?
Shall be burnt up.
What weapon has the capability to do that? We show it all the time. We pull up that Terminator clip with Sarah Connor, and it's burning all the cities down, man. Read on, huh?
Verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godly?
Hey, that is opposed to brothers and sisters. Seeing all these things are bound to happen. What kind of a person are you going to be? Are you going to waver, not read as much? And we talk, guess what? These scriptures hit us first, man. Being more attentive, seeing what more we can do amongst the congregation. How can we strengthen our spirit in these last days? These are things that brothers and sisters have to pose to themselves. How can I be a better husband? How can I teach and guide my children better? How can I make sure that I have the spirit of enduring in this walk? Sisters, how can I be a better wife? How can I be a better sister amongst the congregation? What more can I talk about to help influence brothers and sisters, man? These are the things, because don't think that brothers and sisters are not watching everything that you do and the things that you say. We don't know.
Come. Verse 12, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of God, wherein the heavens being on fire, being on what? Being on fire, we don't know, shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. We don't. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heaven and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness.
It says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise. Where's the promises at? Romans 9 and 4, showing you who that promise is for. It says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth. What precept can brothers think about? Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 9, man. Let's get there right quick. That's what brothers and sisters should be looking for, man. Forget this old world, man. This world is gone, man. We looking for a new heaven and a new earth, meaning a what? New time, a new eon. Not meaning that the world is going to be destroyed. No, talking about a new rulership. Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 9.
Book of Second Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followed, meaning what? A new heavens and a new earth. Go back to the book of Second Peter. Make sure y'all precept that together. Second Peter chapter 3, verse 13.
Yeah. Second Peter chapter 3, verse 13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for a new heaven and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Wherein dwelleth righteousness. Righteousness is the keeping of God's commandments, according to Deuteronomy 6 and 25. Read on.
Come. Wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent.
Be what?
Be diligent.
Read on.
That ye may be found of him in peace, without spot,
Without sin
and blameless.
and blameless. And with that, we give our honor and praise to the Most High. Say shalom. We always tell brothers and sisters to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. What law do a brother have? Law does a brother have?
Deuteronomy
20 and 23. Say it again, huh? 4 and 23. Read that right quick, Doc.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, and verse 23. Take heed unto yourself, lest you forget the covenant of the Lord your God, which he made with you, and made you a graven image, or the likeness of anything which the Lord thy God hath forbidden. Read on. For the Lord thy God is a consuming fire. Is a what? Is a consuming fire. Read on. Even a jealous God. So we want to make sure that brothers and sisters do not forget the covenant. You understanding the covenant, guess what? It's conditions of that covenant to do what? Keep the commandments and have faith in Christ. That is the conditions of the covenant. It's also conditions if you don't uphold to those things. Meaning what? God is going to be a consuming fire on you, man. And with that, we give our honor and praise to the Most High. We say shalom.